Right guys, it's Finn here and welcome to my Premier League Matchweek 4 predictions. And ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a banger of a week because not only do we have games like Manchester City versus Leicester City, Leeds versus Liverpool and so many more really exciting games, but we finally get to see it. Good old Cristiano Ronaldo will make his debut for Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Matchweek 4 of the Premier League is going to be an intense, insane one that I cannot wait for. And as I said in today's video, we're going to be discussing all 10 games that will be happening this Premier League Matchweek, and I'll be giving you my views, my opinions, who I think will win the games, who I think will be the player to watch, all of those kinds of details. As I said, it will be an insane match week, so let's jump into the predictions. Now, of course, game number 1 is going to be between Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspurs. Crystal Palace drawing their last game 2-2 with West Ham United. Not bad, I'll say. Now they've got the likes of Eduard as their main striker, a 20-goal-a-season kind of striker. I did not see that coming, but Crystal Palace, genuinely, talk about a Palace. They could be living luxury this season. They've got a brilliant squad all of a sudden. I think Gallagher's been performing well. Defensively, I've been somewhat impressed with them. And looking at the likes of Tottenham Hotspurs, their opponents, the only team to win all 3 of their first 3 Premier League games. They're not looking too shabby. They beat Watford in their last game 1-0. The game before that, they only won by a penalty versus Wolves. I do feel like in some aspects they could definitely pick up. Now, of course, they'll be without the likes of Christian Romero and Lo Celso because obviously they went for international duty for Argentina over the international break, and let's just say teachers put the naughty kids in the corner so they won't be able to play in that game. But regardless of all of that, I think going into this game, Spurs are probably the better team. They've had a lot of momentum. They've kept Harry Kane. I've gone on about that a few times, and I do think Spurs will win 2-1. I do think Crystal Palace will stay in it. I think it will be a tight contest. I think we could see a goal from Eduard. Crystal Palace are not looking bad, but I do expect Spurs to get the result, especially by the way they've been moving forward attacking wise. Defensively, as I said, I thought in the beginning of the season they were in dire need of a new centre back, but even without the likes of Romero, I think Eric Dyer has done relatively well. Spurs should win it 2-1, and my player to watch, I'm going to go for the likes of Dele Alli. Yes, in a team with Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. I think Dele Alli started off relatively well this season. He's looking like a new man, and I think this is the season where he'll kind of turn his career around and become the Dele Alli we once knew. Now moving on to the second game, it is going to be the likes of Southampton versus West Ham, and looking at Southampton, I don't think they've started off as bad as I thought they would start. I think they've had some relatively good moments. Obviously got a 2-2 draw versus Newcastle United. They haven't looked too bad. Defensively, yes, still slip up from time to time. Attacking wise, I think Adam Armstrong has a lot of potential to him. Definitely has an eye for goal, but come on guys, West Ham United, the way they've played this season, how on earth has Mikel Antonio not been a regular part of some sort of international team? I mean, genuinely, that man is a genius, has now become West Ham United's all-time top goal scorer of all time, and what a celebration to pick up a cardboard cutout of yourself. I mean, genuinely, I might steal that idea. I might get a cardboard cutout of myself, and just whenever I do anything minorly impressive, I'm going to carry it around. I pour hot water into a cup to boil coffee. I'm going to lift up that stand. I go to the toilet successfully. I'm going to pick up this cardboard cutout of myself. What a genius way to celebrate. But jokes aside, I just think West Ham United at the moment look so good. Defensively strong. They now have Kurt Zuma. Midfield wise, not looking bad. Yes, they have been lacking in clean sheets so far this season, but I do believe this will be their first clean sheet, and I do think West Ham United should get a 2-0 win. They've been very impressive. Maybe the result versus Crystal Palace wasn't that promising, but I do think that they should win this game, and they should win it comfortably, with Mikel Antonio being the man to watch. As I said, he's been brilliant so far this season. 3 Premier League games in, he's gotten 4 goals and 3 assists. I mean, how could you not back a player like that? Now jumping into the third game, it is going to be Manchester United versus Newcastle United. As I said, I am a Manchester United fan. I am happy. Cristiano Ronaldo now plays for my club, and he could play versus Newcastle United. I think heading into this game, even without Ronaldo, I think Manchester United should win this game. They really should. They haven't started the season off too bad. I mean, saying that, will United compete for the title this season? I still struggle to believe that with having Fred in the midfield. I mean, I really can't see Manchester United winning a league with Fred in their midfield. But saying that versus Newcastle, Manchester United should absolutely dominate that game. I am expecting a 3-0 win. Look, over the last few seasons, it hasn't always been easy. Newcastle United has given Manchester United a run for their money from time to time, obviously being saved by Alexis Sanchez on 1 or 2 of those occasions. But I think Manchester United should win win this game, I am obviously going to put Cristiano Ronaldo as the player to watch. One of the best footballers of all time. How can you not want to watch a man like that? He could score 2 goals. He could score 3 goals. He will be my player to watch. And as I said, Manchester United should win that game. Now moving on to the next game, it is going to be the likes of Watford versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and this is somewhat of a tricky one because I don't think Watford have been bad this season. I think on the attacking front, moving forward, they've looked very decent. They've created great chances, attacking wise not too bad. Midfield wise, I mean, they've sliced through their opposition like butter from time to time. Defensively, they've made some wise decisions, but in their previous game, I feel like Watford gave away way too many sloppy chances versus Spurs. They just kept on giving away possession over and over again. Looking at Wolves, yes, they haven't been winning their games. In fact, I mean, they've lost all 3 of the games, I believe, at this point. But saying that, versus Spurs and versus Manchester United, I think I've heard from a lot of people that they expected Wolves to win. They played that well, and because of that, I'm going to back Spurs. I think Spurs are going to win it 1-0 in terms of a player to watch. I'm going to go for Adama Traore. I don't think he's been spectacular this season. Yes, he's been really fast. In terms of the skills, he's been brilliant. He's created great chances, but he needs to start delivering on those assists and on those goals. But in terms of that, he is a game changer, and I'm going to put him as my player to watch. As I said, I am going to give Wolves their first win of the season, and I am going to give it a 1-0 win. But you know what? Watford could surprise us. Going on to the next team, it is going to be Arsenal versus Norwich, and I can't believe it. I put a vote up on my community post for you guys to vote on who you think will win the game because I was kind of undecided, and over 270 votes or thereabout, and majority of people put Norwich to win. I cannot believe that. We truly live in an era where out of 270 people, majority of people expect Norwich to beat Arsenal. That just shows you how low Arsenal have scooped. Obviously at the moment, the likes of Smith Rowe looks like he will be missing that game. Ben White though could be back in the squad. Obviously they've got the likes of that new Japanese centre back. It's going to be interesting to see how well he plays. But obviously Arsenal at the moment, their previous game was a 5-0 loss to Manchester City. I don't care how weak your team is to do that. I mean, Arsenal truly have fallen, but will they get their first win versus Norwich? Will they get their first win of the season? Well, of course, looking at Norwich, I think they've created decent chances. I think Tim Krul is a fantastic goalkeeper. They've now got the likes of Kabak in the centre-back position. We did see them, though, versus Leicester, have 1 or 2 slip-ups. Obviously, the likes of Brandon Williams, I don't think had a fantastic start, to be honest with you. But in terms of the game as a whole, tiny bit of a shocker, and I can't believe I'm saying it as a shocker, but I think Arsenal will win it. I think it could be a 1-0 win. I think it could be a penalty. I think it could be a sloppy goal. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal could dominate Norwich, but I do think it will be maybe a 1-0 win. And I'm going to put Aubameyang as my player to watch. I think he's going to score maybe 1 goal. I think it will be a 1-0 difference, as I said. I think it's going to be a lot closer than Arsenal would like, which is so weird. But if okay, sure, why not? If Arteta loses this game with Arsenal, just sack him. I mean, at this point, he's proven a point that maybe he isn't the man for the job. I mean, genuinely, if Arsenal don't beat Norwich, there is a serious problem. Which, guys, I want to ask you guys to put down in the comment section down below. Are you Arteta in or are you Arteta? Actually, no, I'm going to ask a better question for this video. I mean, Ronaldo's making his debut this match week. Do you think Ronaldo will really hit the ground running with Manchester United, or do you think he'll be a Manchester United flop this season? I want to hear your opinions on the matter. But yeah, as I said, I do think Arsenal could beat Norwich, and I really hope for their sake that they end up doing that so that they don't get relegated. But moving on, we've got Brentford versus Brighton. Now looking at this, I really swayed back and forth between these two teams. I said I think Brighton could win it. I mean, they won their first 2 games. They've been looking really solid. Defensively, I think that they do look really strong. They've now got the likes of Cucurella in their squad from Getafe. He could be a brilliant player coming from that left-hand side. I think Mopé's had a good start. Looking at Brentford, unbeaten. I mean, the only team to never be beaten in the Premier League. That's pretty impressive. 3 games in, Brentford can be tremendously proud of themselves. I don't think they've done bad whatsoever. They just drew with Aston Villa in their previous game. But in terms of a result, I'm going to go for a draw, to be honest with you. I know what I said. I never go for a draw in my predictions because I feel like it's boring. But guys, my predictions aren't looking great at the moment because last match week, I'm pretty sure there were like 5 draws. So you know what? I better stop predicting draws, and this will be my first draw. A 1-1. These two teams are incredibly close. I think a player like Cucurella or even Dunk. I can feel just a set-piece goal coming up. I just feel like Dunk will score in this game. But in terms of Brentford, I do feel like their attacking ability looks really good. Going to be a tight contest. Genuinely, either of these two teams could win this. That's why I'm putting it down as a draw, with Cucurella being my player to watch. Now moving on, we've got the likes of Leicester City versus Manchester City. Now it's a tricky one. The last time these two teams played, or the first game between these two teams last season, was like a 5-2 win to Leicester City. Bit of a shock. I think looking at these two teams, it could be very close, but of course Manchester City at the moment don't have either of their two first-team goalkeepers, with Edison obviously playing for Brazil, so he can't play in this game. Obviously Stefan, their backup goalkeeper, is ill at the moment. They don't have Gabriel Jesus, so they genuinely don't have a striker for that game. But you know what, Ferran Torres has looked brilliant at the moment. He will probably be my player to watch. Whether Manchester City will win or not, I'm not sure yet. Obviously they've got the likes of Scott Carson in their goalkeeper position. Hasn't played a Premier League game in about 10 years. Going to be interesting to see. But saying that, Leicester City at the moment, I've just seen way too many defensive errors. I mean, Soyuncu, I've got no idea what's up with him, the mistakes he's making. At this point, I never thought I'd say it, but swap Soyuncu in for the likes of Vestergaard. Bring Vestergaard in. Soyuncu needs a break at the moment. Given away 2 or 3 easy goals for the opposition so far this season. Got a red card for Turkey versus, I mean, it's just really not looking good for Leicester City at the moment. Making too many mistakes on the attacking front. They're not looking bad. They are going to have to step up, but as I said, Man City not with their strongest team at the moment, but I am going to give Manchester City the win. I think it will be a 3-2 win. I don't think it will be a draw. They haven't drawn since 2015, these two teams, and I think Manchester City probably are the stronger team until Leicester City stop their defensive errors. Man City probably have more faith in them. They obviously have a lot of confidence after that 5-0 win versus Arsenal, and as I said, my player to watch, Ferran Torres. He's been brilliant so far this season. Moving on to the next game, it is going to be Chelsea versus Aston Villa, and although I'd like to think this as a close contest, Aston Villa has not been impressive this season. Going into it, I expected a lot more for them. I don't think they played to the best of their abilities, and now they don't have Emiliano Martinez or Emiliano Buendia, or they don't have their two of their best players in their squad at the moment. Obviously Argentinian, and as I said, Brazilian or Argentinian players are going to struggle this match week. They won't be able to play, and I think that could be a huge loss for the club. To not have the likes of Martinez and not have the likes of Buendia, that will cost the club. But even regardless, Chelsea at the moment, I have to give them the result. Obviously they drew with the likes of Liverpool in the last Premier League Matchweek, a really tight contest. I would love to put my player to watch with Reece James. Obviously got a red card in that game, so it will be a problem, but I think Chelsea proved in that game defensively they may just be the best team in the world. They are so solid. I would still like to see a few more goals from Lukaku. Obviously it is very early days. I feel like Kai Havertz could maybe score. I feel like it will be a 2-0 win for Chelsea. They have the stronger team. They have all of their best players from my knowledge at the moment. And in terms of my player to watch, I'm going to put down good old Romelu Lukaku. I think he could do serious bits in a game like this. Now moving on to what I believe is the second last game. It is going to be Leeds United versus Liverpool. And I cannot tell you as a Manchester United fan how happy it would make me if Daniel James scored for Leeds United versus Liverpool. I mean, that could very much well happen, but will it happen? I'm not sure. I think Liverpool are going to win this one 3-1. I don't think Leeds have been that impressive this season. They've lost unnecessary points. I think they drew 1-1 to Burnley in their previous game. It's not looking good for them. They do have to pick up defensively, in my opinion. Attacking-wise, they're creating great chances. They could be slightly more clinical, but I think that they really need momentum to start rolling before they perform well this season. I haven't quite seen what I saw from them last season so far. Looking at Liverpool, yes, they've definitely slipped up from time to time. Versus a 10-man Chelsea team, yes, they should have capitalized, but as I said, Chelsea were defensively strong. I still think Liverpool are a very strong team. They'll do much better than they did last season. I think they should get a 3-1 win versus Leeds. Who knows? It could be a close result. And in terms of my player to watch, once again, Mo Salah hardly ever disappoints. Whether he plays well or whether he doesn't, he normally seems to get a goal. And I think that'll be the situation in a game like this. Now, guys, moving on to the final game of Premier League Matchweek 4. Once again, an insane Premier League Matchweek. It is going to be the likes of Everton versus Burnley. Now, weirdly enough, although Brazilian, apparently the likes of Richarlison will be able to play for Everton, which I think is really odd. I'm going to have to look into the rules more about that, but apparently he's had enough time off and he will be able to play. But Everton versus Burnley, I'm going to expect Everton to get the win. I don't think Burnley started off bad by any means this season. They seem to look okay on the attacking front, maybe just need to be slightly more clinical. It's going to be interesting to see their new left-back called Net. I think Burnley could give Everton a really tough time. Once again, a team that has struggled defensively, given away a few really sloppy goals, but once again, if they just correct those problems, I think Everton could be in for a very, very easy time. I'm going to give them a 2-0 win, going to be a tight contest in my opinion. And in terms of the player to watch, Damari Gray has been absolutely brilliant. The energy, speed, and just absolutely everything in that kid is looking so deadly. Whether he scores a goal or not, I'm not sure, but I think he will be a star player in a game like that. If not someone like Decore, he seems to be shooting a lot more this season, and it's very exciting. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my prediction video for Premier League Match Week 4. As I said, we've got an intense lineup coming up. We've got some fantastic games, some fantastic moments that I'm expecting, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a reason to why I love football. There are just so many fantastic moments. Anything can happen. As I said, guys, put down in the comment section down below, do you think Ronaldo will succeed or flop at Manchester United this season? I'm interested to see your opinions down below. But guys, this has been fun, FYW. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to catch more of my content in the future, make sure to subscribe down below for more prediction videos, more analysis videos, more everything. Make sure to subscribe along with hitting that like button down below. Could we please get this video to 20 likes? I'd really appreciate it. But guys, this has been fun, FYWN.